Hey everybody, Ben here with We Go Fishing, and in this video we're going to talk about bobbers. I know that a lot of fishermen use bobbers for a lot of different applications, but we're going to talk about bobbers and we're going to talk about different ways to use them because there are multiple different bobbers, multiple different ways to use them, and there are different effective ways. We found some ways that are very effective. We go fishing with kids, and so bobbers really do help our children and fish well. Before I get into the bobbers, I do want to say thank you to all of those you have subscribed to the channel, that liked our videos, that have shared them out. I really do appreciate that. We're coming up, I think we're getting close to 400, maybe 500 subscribers. So that's awesome. So I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, liking our videos, things like that. If you've not subscribed already, be sure to do that. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the little notifications bell, also get notified when things go live. And of course, we are on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, so you can check us out in those things. Okay, so let's talk bobbers. Okay, so there's the police again. I don't know why the police like to go off as soon as I start filming. It's one of these things, like they have this uncanny ability. Here we have 4 different types of bobbers that I want to show you this evening, and I think that they'll help you out. 2 of them are going to be pretty familiar to you. We go fishing with children a lot, and so bobbers are kind of essential to our repertoire to help the kids do their very best to get hooked up on as many fish as they possibly can. This is a stick bobber. Most of you have seen this before if you've been fishing for any amount of time. What you're going to do with a stick bobber is just very, very simple. You're going to take it, you're going to take your line, you're going to stick it in there, you're just going to wrap it around a bunch of times. That creates the ability to fish, and then if you want to fish different depths, all you got to do is simply adjust how far that is on the line. It's very simple to use, but one of the drawbacks is you can't adjust your depth very easily, and whatever you have beneath this spot is what you have to contend with for casting. And if you have too much beneath this spot, you can get wrapped up really easily. So there are limitations to this kind of bobber, but they do work. This bobber as well, same type of thing, same type of setup. You have a bottom and a top to this one to give it more of a secure idea. And what you're going to do is you're going to slip your line into there, into that bottom hook. You're going to put your finger on the bottom of there, and you're going to push the top down. And when you do, you can see the top unravels. And you're just going to wrap this around a couple of times, and that also provides that same thing. If you're panfish, bluegill fishing, crappie fishing, you can use this type of bobber. It is effective. But again, whatever you have beneath this bobber is what you have to contend with for casting. And I have found that once you get somewhere around a foot or 2 beneath this, it becomes really hard to control. It tends to get wrapped up in things, and so there are some limitations to these types of bobbers, but for kids, and for simple freshwater fishing, they worked out just fine. What I do want to show you is a different method that I learned when I moved down south here, and I think it was actually pretty cool. It was actually very effective to use this on the jetties, and that's using a slip bobber. I have this small one here that you can use for freshwater fishing, but the principle really is the same, and it revolves around this guy. If you're not familiar with these, this is a bobber stop. And these are pretty cool. And again, I learned this just recently. I learned it while we were jetty fishing, and I was wondering how these guys were getting down so deep to get to where the fish are and not having their line get all wrapped up. And they said, oh, bobber stops and slip bobbers. And I said, oh, okay, well, let me try this out. So what we have here is a bobber stop. What you're going to do with a bobber stop is you're just going to slip this on your line to whatever your depth is that you want to fish. And you're going to pull off the little plastic piece. We'll put that over to the side. You're going to cinch this down as tight as you can. Okay? Then you're going to snip off the 2 sides of this bobber stop and get them as close as you can to that knot, because you don't want much there. You don't want it to get caught in your eyelids and stuff like that. So you want to really get that close, get that yarn off of there. So there you have that there. What you're going to do now is you're going to take this little bead, this little plastic bead, very inexpensive terminal tackle, but you can get these. I think you can get them on Amazon, Walmart, just about anywhere, I think. And you're going to slip this bead on. Then you're going to take your bobber, and you're going to slip your bobber on. Feed that through this little Joe. So you have your bobber stop, you have your bead, then you tie on your swivel. And your swivel you can tie on just using a simple cinch knot or fisherman's knot, whatever it might be. So if you've got a leader line that's like a foot or 2, you can attach that to the bottom of your swivel, and you can fish as deep as you want. Because what's going to happen is when this hits the water, you put a little weight down here, it's going to slide all the way up to where that bobber stop is. So you can easily fish 7, 8 feet down in the water column, suspending those baits right off the bottom of wherever it is that you're fishing. You can suspend those baits, and it's very, very easy to do. Because what you're going to do is, if you need to adjust to depth, whether you need to go shallower or whether you need to go deeper, you just take your bobber stop, which is here, slide it up your line more. Your glass bead or your plastic bead is going to go up. Naturally, your bobber is going to follow, and you're going to be able to fish even deeper. But it is very simple to use and very easy to fish this in very deep water. And when you cast, all you have to cast is your leader line, and that's maybe a foot or two. So very easy to use, very simple to use. Again, you can use one of these even if you're fishing in, maybe for catfish or whatever it might be, and you want to get down a little bit lower in the water column. You can do the same thing, and you don't have to contend with all of that line to use when you're fishing. So this is a very effective way, especially when fishing with kids, very effective way, very easy way to fish at different depths in the water column without having to cast a whole bunch of line. So I hope you learned something with this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And also make sure that you leave me a comment in the comment section below about how you like to use bobbers. And until next time, may you always catch your limit.